So
Yeah. All right. I sandbagged for long enough. We can start. Wait, let me make sure, wait for the meeting to run.
so
All right. I sandbagged for long enough. We can start. Wait, let me make sure. Sorry. All right. Technical issues abound, but we will persevere because it is draft night once again. Welcome to our third ever OCHO fantasy draft for the Summer Showdown. I am your host, to steal someone else's catchphrase. League commissioner, three-time OCHO champion, six-time All-Star, two-time MVP. I don't say it to brag. I only say it to contrast myself with my esteemed colleague Kyle Kuiper McShay Qualls. I've locked him in his parents' basement for the past year, watching film for all these trivia players. The world's foremost trivia draft analyst,
mhm.
also a three-time OCHO champion, zero-time All-Star, zero-time MVP, but two-time Boy He Tries Hard award winner. Um, Qualls, excited to be here.
Yeah. Also, the best trivia player at his place of employment. But again, there are levels to this. Uh, yeah, I've been studying film, staying indoors. It's a miracle that I was able to get so sunburned while in my parents' basement. But nonetheless, the, the Christmas of the Ocho calendar has finally arrived.
Yeah, this is the most fun event probably of the year. Maybe less so if we don't have any trades or anything wild happen, but I mean, Primos is here. He'll shake something up,
Yeah.
right?
No trades leading up to the draft, but there could
Anything
always
can happen. Okay, so let's move on. Tournament rules. I'm not sure if we have anyone. Oh, we have a couple people who have played before in this league, so we'll just run through it. There are six teams of three this time. You'll all be drafted onto a team, and we have a World Cup style group stage. So you're going to play the other two teams in your pool, and then you're going to play one game against the team from the other pool. So you'll play three games this Monday, this Wednesday, and next Monday. And based on your results in those games, you'll play a game next Wednesday, either the title game, the third place game, or the fifth place game. All of you have picked two niches, and there are no niches in the final round, so they'll all be used in the first three games. Um, you're guaranteed 2 rounds in each major sport in the group stage, and all of them in the final. All of the categories have been predetermined in a way that means that all of the teams will get all of the same types of questions evenly. And other than that, it's just the normal league rules and lifelines, and you guys should all be familiar with those. So moving on, here we have the pick summary. So Eli, by way of Ashley converting to a player from a GM, has been gifted the honor of the first pick. So the Angry Apples, that's Eli's team. I believe they won the tournament in the first instance we did it. They'll be going first, followed by Steven Botchner, Cam, Austin, Fa, and Primos. But for rounds 2 and 3, the order is reversed. So Primos will have the first pick in rounds 2 and 3, and Eli will have the last pick in rounds 2 and 3, which of course Eli gets someone by default at the end of round 3. Um, so that is the summary. As we said, it can change. If you're a general manager, you can make a trade at any time during this draft. The only rule is that you have to have 3 players on your team. You can't trade like 3 of your picks for one of someone else's. So here is the draft board. These are all the players that are available at the moment, and they will obviously go off the clock as each of them are selected. In my second screen, we will be putting the draft results here to keep track of the rosters. So without further ado, we will put Eli on the clock. So Eli, you can go ahead and send me your pick whenever you're ready. In the meantime, Qualls, you can do your thing. Who's in consideration here? Who would you take? Who would you not take? What is Eli going to do, etc.
In my highly anticipated draft grades, I had listed 2 players as potential contenders for this top pick. That would be yourself and Spencer. Spencer, notably, is a teammate of Eli during the regular season. So maybe there's some backdoor deals, some politics in play. If there was a third player, it would have been Jim. But of course, as we all know, I mistook Jim for a different Jim. Um, so
Is there
so
even a different Jim?
I guess I don't know, but
Who did you think the other Jim was?
is the mentally ill is Jim?
Yeah, that is who it is.
Oh, it is. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought. Well then pick him. I thought you guys were like, oh, different Jim.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, he should be in contention as well.
Okay, well maybe Jim will pop off the board here. The thing with Jim, though, of course, is that he has the best vibes out of anyone in the league. So, like, that has to be like a huge consideration.
Mhm.
Um,
Matt, have we started yet or no?
yeah, Craig, we just started. The first pick is about to happen. Thank you for asking. Uh,
Okay.
Craig, notably not a GM, but anyway. Okay, without further ado,
Fucking hell. God damn
yeah,
it.
I tried it. I was gonna boot him. Okay. Anyway, Eli has picked, and with the first pick of the draft, Eli has selected yours truly, myself. So I am off the board. Eli, I am very honored. Thank you for that. Um, so yeah, exciting times for me. Qualls, tell me why I'm really good at trivia and why Eli was right to pick me.
Yeah, I'd say the best choice for number one, most well-rounded, arguably the best player in the league. Also has a substantial salary, so he could pay off the hosts. Um, yeah, the just kind of the obvious choice, but then again, Spencer and Jim were strong contenders, and they'll probably be the next two off the board. But we'll see.
Well, thank you. That was very kind of you and very unforced as well. So, Steven Botchner is on the clock now with the Wandering Francos. Um, this is probably a good time to get ahead of it and note that we have four players who people might not be familiar with. Ryan, who is Fa's friend, Kelsey, who is Stephen Constantake's friend, Kyle Moran, who is Spencer's friend and has the craziest niches we've ever seen, and lastly, Cooper, who is your friend, because your initial entrant into the tournament dropped out 24 hours before the draft, so we had to scramble to find another person. So for the GMs who had seen the list previously and are now confused, Cooper is the new 18th player available for selection, and his niches are what, jam bands and what else?
And the Christopher Nolan Batman films.
Yes. So, Qualls, why don't you do a quick rundown on Cooper so the GMs are aware of him going in?
Cooper, I mean, very very good vibes guy. He's experimented with just about every drug out there. He loves to play the guitar. He loves to make huge life plans and then go back on them not 5 minutes later. He'll be like, "Oh, we should start a hash farm in the Middle East," and then just be like, "No, that was stupid. Why would we ever do that?" And you can never tell if he's joking. Maybe not as good in the sports areas, but again, in round three when you're like, man, I have all my bases covered, but who's gonna provide that little extra sauce? It's Cooper Huffman. It's Coop Dog.
All right, thank you for that. I just wanted to give everyone a rundown because we had him come in at the last minute. And as a reminder, you can pick anyone at any time. You don't have to just pick the non-league people in round three, which of course we already suspect Jim will go sooner. But Steven Botchner has made his pick, and he is going to go with Spencer Rogers. So congrats, Spencer. You're off the board.
Steven, do you not believe in me?
All right, Craig is just investing in this. Is Spencer here? I'm not sure. No Spencer. So, Steven, if you want to say anything, feel free to unmute. Otherwise, Qualls, you can go ahead with your analysis of Spencer. And while you do that, we will add the next team to the clock, which would be Cam's team. So Cam is on the clock.
I would just like to say something really quick.
Go for it.
Yep.
Craig, I didn't pick you. Want you to save your strength for the regular season so we can win a championship. And Spencer
Thank you.
picked him because I know he can lead a team to a championship. So he's going to win another one.
Okay, well said. Qualls, go ahead. Do you like the pick?
Yeah, my other contender for the top pick, Steven, notably wants Craig to save his strength, even though he will be playing the same amount of games regardless.
Yeah, but he won't try now.
You're right.
But he's not gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna like push me. Like,
Yeah.
but Steven, see, I'm Tom Brady. Steven's Bill Belichick. But Steven, I want to know, why were you on a private plane?
Oh, It was just a plain bar at JFK.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
As interesting that is to everyone else. Qualls, here's the thing though with Spencer. I mean, Spencer's obviously a great player, but I think the consensus has been that you need a lot of sports in round one
Mhm.
because it's harder to find in round three. So does that mean that Jim might have been the pick there?
Maybe. Spencer's definitely the more experienced player. He's the more accomplished player, having won a Ocho Trivia Championship. In terms of like some of the more non-sports categories, like TV shows and pop culture and music, he's probably the best there is at that. And although those are rarer than the major sports categories, they're like in a way because there are less people who are good at them, more valuable. But regardless, Steven's gonna have to pick a very sports-heavy player in round two to balance out Spencer.
Yeah, well said. All right. Well, Cam has made his selection. I see his video is on, so that means we can ask him about it after I announce it. And with the third pick in the draft, Cam has decided to go with Jim. So Jim McMahon off the board, notably the Jim that Qualls was aware of, even though he was mistaken about that. Cam, do you want to walk us through your thought process here?
Yeah, I actually had a plan coming in, and it changed due to some direct messages I received in the Zoom chat. Just so that's known, I won't divulge, but
Oh,
it might play out later, but we'll see how it goes.
okay. Well, that's very interesting. That's a good team. That was great content, Cam. Thank you. That was a huge, huge tease from Cam there.
Yeah.
Qualls, give us the rundown on Jim and give us the and then give us who you think is going to go because I feel like that was a tier of three, and now that we're beyond that, it's kind of like wide open. And speaking of which, Austin, you were on the board, so you can make your selection whenever you are ready. So go ahead, Qualls.
Yeah, Jim, who filled in for Steven Constantakes at the end of last season, and the beginning of this season, quickly proved that he could be a first option and lead a team. So naturally, it was inevitable that he would go round one. He is a lot like Alex in the sense that he gets a lot of questions where you're like, how the fuck did he get that? And he's also usually like out at a bar or like smoking or drinking while playing. So not only a great trivia player, but just great content all around.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. I think now it's kind of wide open for who could be next. Craig, who has let his displeasure be known, he's definitely in the running. As is Leaf, like really a few other people. So yeah.
Yes. I yeah, it's a tough situation now. Leaf, of course, could have gone with this pick because Cam insinuated that Leaf is the second best player in the entire league. But I guess Cam didn't stand by that with this selection, so maybe some teammate dissatisfaction there. Regardless, I think Jim is a great pick. Um, and now Austin has selected his pick. Gotta say, like we said, a new tier of players. A lot of people could go. Qualls, you've expressed your dissatisfaction with always getting picked in the first round because you say that it gives you unfair expectations. But unfortunately for you, with the fourth pick, Austin has taken Craig. Austin has gone with Craig. Sorry, Austin personally asked me to build up the pick to make it seem like he was taking you. So I was just following directions, but Austin has gone with Craig. So Austin, talk about why you took Craig, and then also talk about why you decided to fuck with Walls.
I mean, given my position at 4, I was always looking at Craig. I think he's pretty solid this year. He does it all. Really good at college sports. That's what I was looking for. And Qualls honestly just seemed a little too happy for my taste tonight, so I want to knock him down a peg. But I'm sure he'll go next pick or something, or last. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Craig, you happy with your landing spot here? Are you ready to take it to Steven's team?
I feel fine. I feel mostly that I beat Leaf. That's my biggest accomplishment. I also want to say that I'm playing Catan simultaneously, so I think I might win like most autistic player. So, but I think my college sports knowledge is actually overrated, and it's actually such a it's not even it's like very few of the sports. So but I'm happy with my placement.
Well, I think the thing about Craig's college sports knowledge quals, and we can also talk about like what else makes Craig such a good trivia player, is that like it literally came out of fucking nowhere because none of us even knew that Craig knew what a sports ball was, and all of a sudden he was just ripping like Davidson and like random colleges. So
Mhm.
yeah, but what are Craig's other strengths? And by the way, Fa is on the clock now, so you can talk about who might go here as well.
Yeah. So yeah, Craig, who for many seasons had been uh, mostly just a non-sports player, and he and Steven on Frank Chester had provided a one would do non-sports and one would do sports, and Craig really stepped up his game out of nowhere. Maybe he took a page out of Leafs playbook and started studying in the off season.
I
But
don't watch college football for Ocho. I just want to let you know that. So, exogenous interest.
He's the first guy
With
I met.
anyone,
but yeah, we really stepped it up this season and really improved his draft stock in the summer tournament. In years past, he would have been like a early to mid second round pick grade, and this year he was a clear first round pick.
Yeah, I believe that last year he went early second to Petey's team because they did that trade with Faw's team, and I believe in the first season he was the second to last pick of the second round, maybe because he was on my team and I didn't go first. I think I went second that season. So yeah, so a big step up for Craig. Can he lead the team all on his own? We'll see. Who do you think can go next? I think this is the most interesting region of the draft. I have no idea who can go.
Yeah, I'd mentioned Leaf. Since Gravel mentioned me, I always go in the first round despite the fact that I suck. Brian is a really good pick here. There could be some backdoor deals of I know this guy's who's not a league member is good at X, Y, and Z. So there may be some of that because there's no we don't have a rule this year where like the league members have to go before the non-league members. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen.
Well said. And with the pick, Fa has gone with someone you named. He has gone with Brian Tomasco. Brian off the board. If you want a sense of Brian's commitment to this league, he is in the draft Zoom at like 3 a.m. Spain time. Brian, congratulations. You're a first round pick. How are you feeling right now?
I'm actually in Portugal right now, so it's only 2:20 in the morning. But I'm also in an apartment with thin walls, so I'm whispering. But it's an honor, and I'm pleased to be here.
Fantastic. All right. Let's see. If Fa is able to, Fa is like on a plane half the time, but if Fa can talk, he can join in and let us know why he took Brian.
Yeah, well, I really wanted Craig, mainly because I was planning on running a very conservative offense this year. We know that Craig loves children unless they are Palestinian. I wanted that energy on my team. But we settled for someone who sounds like one of the kids who performed the pranks in Scent of a Woman. And that's why I went with Brian. Nice, classical, conservative, aristocratic. We like that he's went to some boarding school that I can't name, and that he knows more about other boarding schools. Yeah, he might not survive when the revolution comes, but he will survive on this team. I can tell you that.
Okay, sounds like Fa really prioritized the bourgeoisie here. So an interesting strategy there. Brian, of course, yeah, huge glue guy, good teammate, good player. Along with Craig Qualls, one of like the most improved draft stocks in the last couple seasons. Primos is on the clock. You can also speculate about that pick and give us a little analysis on Brian.
Yeah, Brian, like you mentioned, probably the best vibes so far. I know a few of the people who've been taken thus far like to berate their teammates, and that's kind of bad for morale.
Yeah, that's on Craig. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, Brian, I believe won Niche Player of the Year this year. He's certainly one of the best niche players. What's kind of interesting about that though is that he decided to go with niches that are kind of new. He went with Andalusian cuisine and International Phonetic Alphabet. But nonetheless, he's again a very well-rounded player in terms of sports and non-sports. He's really kind of the straw that stirs the drink in terms of sports questions for Mentally Ills, which is a team that just went to the finals. So really solid pick here.
Uh, okay, Primo's on the clock. He has back-to-back picks, so I would assume he's looking to like complement some skills here.
Yeah, and also something to consider for Primos is kind of like looking ahead at like, oh, who are we going to play, because the niches are matched up by where the players were drafted.
Yep.
So if do we have the schedule out already, like in terms of
Well, we know what round like niches, like week 1, for example, is rounds 1 and 3, but we
right?
don't game 1, excuse me, but like we don't know who's who yet. But I see
Gotcha.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, Primos has submitted his pick, and with his pick, the last pick of the first round, Primos has really done something here. He has selected Reggie with his pick. So Reggie is off the board. Reggie, his name is not Reggie. We know nothing about him other than he's a fucking weirdo, but he is the pick. Is he good at trivia? Potentially. We've never seen him play without blatantly cheating, but when he was a phone a friend, it seems like it's hard to cheat in that little time. He was pretty good, so he might be pretty solid. We don't know. Is this probably primarily a bit from Primos? I think yes, but it's really funny anyway, so I don't care. So anyway, Reggie is off the board, and the first round is complete. The first round is myself, Spencer, Jim, Craig, Brian, and Reggie. Primos is still on the clock. Primos, if you can speak, I'm not sure what you're up to, but you can
I'm here.
share your.
I'm
Okay,
here.
great. Share your thoughts, please.
I just thought he would be great. I'm just taking the chance that he wasn't cheating or that he will cheat better in the games. Yeah, I'll send in my second pick now, I guess.
Okay, great.
I think this is gonna be a really solid team. This is gonna be a dynamic duo with the top two. This nice little corner I have here. So you can announce it now. It's fine.
All right,
Or
great.
Reggie.
Yeah,
No, actually, no. Reggie interview.
yeah, we got it.
Okay, yeah. Reggie, come on out. Talk about what you think you'll be good at in this league, and maybe like I don't know, just anything, but anything brief. I think is what I would say. The floor is yours, but for a very limited time. Oh no, Reggie. He's okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, there he is.
Reggie, excited for season. Reggie, happy, honored pick first round. Reggie, Reggie good trivia. Reggie, red lip batfish. Reggie, happy Pride Month. Reggie, happy Father's Day to all daddies.
Okay, that's probably enough of that. Thank you, Reggie. Great stuff. And I think I'm going to read the pick off right now because I think it dovetails really well with that interview. Primos, we said he might pick Leaf, with Reggie. Like I said, that would be a Primos thing to do to create kind of a dynamic duo. And he has done that. He's gone for team chemistry for sure. And to ensure he has the team that gets along the best, similar personality types, with the first pick of the second round, he has selected Kyle Qualls. Kyle Qualls, you are off the board.
Welcome to the team, Qualls.
The summer tournament was invented just to fucking ruin me. You know what? I'm not gonna let it get me down. When he picked Reggie with the last pick of the first round, I began to become suspicious because Primos had said, he said in the group chat, I have my plan for the draft ready. I'm so excited, and I think this is the first time he's ever planned for anything. So I was like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
But regardless, let's get this bread.
Oh my God, Primos, that was incredible. I gotta say, that was some of your finest work. Okay.
This is my last involvement with the league, and I really wanted to leave an impact and go out in style. And I honestly think Reggie's a good player, and Qualls is good too. I think they can, and I feel like I'm gonna get hidden gem in the third, so we'll be good.
Yes. All right. Well, Yeah,
I will say this: if I didn't get last pick, I would have tried. Or I'm trying, but like I would have I wouldn't have done a bit if I got like first pick or so. I tried to get the first pick. I wanted Matt, obviously, because I think Matt just is gonna win. But this is better. So
to be fair, you've done a great bit, and also the team actually might be good. So it's kind of like a best of both worlds situation.
We'll see.
We will see. Definitely the biggest wild card team out there. Fa on the clock, by the way. So we will wait for that pick to come in. Qualls, I really don't know who could be next. Maybe a Calvin, maybe a Leaf. I would say those.
Yeah, Calvin and Leaf. Calvin and Leaf still on the board. I just want to put out there in my draft profiles that on Reggie's grade I said possible last pick, and on mine I put undraftable. So Primos has drafted the people with the 2 lowest grades. Yeah, remains to be seen. If Reggie wasn't cheating, then he just had an incredible 8-point run, and it might be the best player in the draft. So we'll see. But yeah, Leaf, Calvin, Jeremy is another guy who I think could go soon. As our Nick and Max are probably kind of coming up shortly thereafter. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, Andrew's still on the board. I don't want him to think that I'm forgetting him or that I'm mad at him.
Not.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with the second pick of the second round, Fa has submitted his pick, and he's going to take his friend Ryan. Some home cooking here. Fa known to take his friends that are non-leaguers. Worked out very well last season. Made it all the way to the championship game on that strategy. So Fa, what is Ryan all about? What is he going to offer you?
Well, first of all, I almost convinced myself to take Leaf here, and I know that there were some thoughts that I would, but then I realized that I just don't like Leaf. I hate the sound of his voice. I hate his vibe. The sound of his piss hitting the urinal. It sounds feminine. So I went with my buddy Ryan, who in my eyes probably the second best all-around sports player in this entire player pool. The best probably being Matt. When it comes to gambling on sports, Ryan is the most autistically good person I know. He notoriously made like 5K off of the Super Bowl last year. The guy's a sicko. He's a sick motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited to meet this guy.
Yeah, in my draft profile, I speculated that because he's a friend of Fa, he may be a degenerate gambler, and that was quickly confirmed. So yeah, pairing someone with a lot of sports knowledge with Brian, who again just a overall really good player, maybe a little better at non-sports than sports. So pretty good pairing. I'm honestly liking the way this team is shaping up so far.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. So the pairs we have so far, we have Reggie and Qualls, of course. We have and Brian and Ryan, a nice sounding team as well. So Austin's fried pickles are on the clock now. And of course, honestly, last season it was kind of like Andrew has some value, but is anyone going to pick him? And I'm starting to wonder if that's what's happening with Leaf this season. So we'll see how far he drops. Let's call it it's like when the NFL draft they say character concerns.
Yeah.
I guess that's what's happening with Leaf here. He was like the 11th out of the players playing. I think he was the 4th highest scorer in the regular season. Actually, probably 3rd. But we'll see where he ends up going. But Austin has submitted his pick. And it's an interesting one. Austin has gone with our real teammate, Nick Smith. So Nick is off the board. Nick is a fried pickle. Qualls, is this a reach, or are you good with this?
Potential reach. I had graded him as a true second rounder, so no surprise that he went in the second round. I think maybe a bit of a surprise considering some of the people that are still on the board. Ultimate Glue Guy. His niches are Taylor Swift and Gen 1 Pokemon. At times can be unreliable with niches, but good at just like random little tidbits like movies and golf and that sort of thing. And pairing with Craig is interesting. You got pretty good 1-2 punch of just kind of general trivia people. So
Yeah, might be a kind of fuck sports strategy there, with Nick plus Craig on at least some sports. But I mean, Nick can hold his own in some sports, and maybe once he gets out from within under your shadow, he'll be able to shine more. I think you're holding him back as a teammate.
Yes.
Uh, so this is interesting. We've been making fun of Leaf for sliding. Cam is on the board. Cam is Leaf's teammate. Is there any way Cam can not pick Leaf here?
I sure hope so, because could you imagine the content? But yeah, Cam is the one who said Leaf is the second best player in the league. He is now at best going to be picked number 10. Is it
I believe, yeah, 9.
9? Yes. So
Sorry, 10. It is 10.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I graded him as a mid to late first round pick. We are now almost to the late second round. This is a true Aaron Rodgers situation. Yeah, but again, there are other good players still out there, like Calvin, for example. Jeremy. So we'll see.
Yep. Okay. With the pick, Cam has decided to go with the Leafster. Cam is taking Leaf off the board. Jim and Leaf is a really good pairing, I think. As of now, of the teams who have 2 players, that looks like the best roster on paper. I must say that's a really good team. Leaf, happy to be on a team. Happy that your teammate picked you. Or are you mad they didn't pick you in round 1?
Reggie's loving it.
Yeah. Okay. I
Can
don't
you
know.
guys see me or hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you. What are you doing?
I had a bad night.
All right, we've lost Leaf. Maybe.
lost.
Oh wait, he's back.
I'm lost, and I don't know how to get out. I'm happy. I'm happy to be with Cam. I'm happy to be. It's gonna be a great time. No,
Okay. I don't know what's going on with Leaf other than he apparently is lost in a psychedelic trip.
Yeah. Keep joining us live from a Danish sex club.
Okay. So like we said, that's a really good team. Steven on the clock here. Maybe a Jeremy, a Calvin, maybe a Max, perhaps, from him. He of course took Spencer, so you probably want a big sports guy, you would think, right?
Yeah. So in terms of fit, Jeremy might be the move there.
Yeah.
But also for Cam, I don't think he could have dreamed up a better draft situation than what he got.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He was probably debating taking Leaf there, and then was able to get him anyway in the second round.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Really good draft from Cam so far. He's getting an A+ from me. Steven Botchner has decided to go with Jeremy, so he agrees with us that that's a good fit. I think it is too. So Jeremy is off the board, and that brings up Eli for the last pick of round 2, which will be Eli's last actively chosen player. So this pick is very important for him. Botchner, if you're around, you could talk about what you've thought through in this selection, how you think Jeremy will pair with Spencer. He might not be. He never is.
I'm in the shower.
Fair enough. All right, Qualls, take it from here.
I'm sorry, where were we? What happened?
We're talking about who Eli might take with this pick.
Okay, yeah. Calvin slipped quite a ways. It would be crazy if he slipped at the third round, considering I drafted him early to mid second, and I wouldn't have been surprised if someone had taken him in the first. There are, maybe some people that I forget who. Ooh, Andrew's still on the board. I think Ashley could be a sneaky good pick here. I think Ashley is, like well versed in all things Ocho, and also is a girl that watches sports. She's the only one on earth. So and also has like some pop culture chops. So yeah, again, I'm not super sure about the kind of non-league members, what they all bring to the table, unless the GMs do. So
yeah, very good point. So Eli has made his pick. He's going to go with Calvin. So, Calvin, welcome to the team, buddy. I'm excited to play with Calvin. Calvin's a really good player. Honestly, shocked he went this late. I believe, where was he in your grades?
Mid or early to mid second round. So again, him and Leaf, just two really good players who slipped to teams that also had really high first round picks. So really good job, other GMs. I think Primos is with his bit is 90% responsible for this. So, but it doesn't matter because we're me and Reggie, we're going all the way. So
all right. So we have 6 names left. It's time for round 3. Who do you see going off the board here? Obviously, we don't. You know, one of the 3 guests of the pod remaining, so to speak. So who could be on the clock here? I think maybe it's Max's time.
It could be. You know, he's again someone who's very familiar with all things trivia. I'd mentioned that when he's filled in, he hasn't done like a whole lot in terms of big performances. But then again, it could be because he's trying not to kind of like get in the way of existing teams. But now that he'll have the same team throughout, I think that could be really big for him.
Yeah, and also let it be known that he got the game-winning point when he subbed for us. So obviously a lot of talent there.
Yes. Andrew I believe is he the last league member?
The last full league member. That's correct.
Last full league member who is there. So it could be his time.
Yes. Okay, and with the first pick of the 3rd round, Primos has gone with Andrew. So the Land Sharks roster is complete. It is Reggie Qualls and Andrew Qualls. This had to have been your dream scenario when you were on the board. How happy are you right now?
I'm really good. You know what? I've made peace with the fact that Reggie will murder me. And then Andrew will stand over my bloody corpse and he'll say, "Are you mad at me?" And you know what? This team that you jest at is gonna surprise some people.
Look at you with a good sport.
Yeah.
Fa is on the board. Unfortunately for Fa, he doesn't have any of his other friends to pick, or else that would be just a guarantee that would happen. So now with 2 rounds complete, let's think who has the best 1-2 punch. Obviously, your team is all 3 now, so you can include the first 2 picks there. I mean, are we still feeling that Cam team? I feel like I am, at least.
Which one's Cam again? Leaf and Jim.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I think you and Calvin. That's also a really good one. Cal, it's been talked ad nauseum about how really since season 2, Calvin has not quite lived up to that peak, but he's still been pretty solid, and he's done it while playing with Vigran, taking up a lion's share of the I guess usage rate. So pretty good.
Yep. All right. Well, we can move this along from the last few picks here. Fa has selected Kelsey, Steven's friend. Steven talks very highly of him, says that he is a really good sports player, so that could be a really good pick for Fa. So that will be interesting to see. So now we have Austin on the board with 4 people left to select. We will put in the first picks here. We have Andrew and we have Kelsey. Hard to speculate now, obviously, because we don't know a couple of these people, or at least I don't. That was so funny that Primos did, I gotta be honest. That was incredible. That was the best draft moment we've ever had.
I think Neil picking me 4th in the first summer tournament is a big rival, but regardless, I'm glad to be the punchline in every draft.
That was frankly incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. Did Neil trade up to get you in that draft?
I think so.
Yeah, because I remember he interrupted us like Jerry Jones or something, and he came in and he drafted you and then Ethan.
Yep.
Wow, how the mighty have fallen. All right, so Austin has submitted his pick, and he is going to take Ashley. So congrats to Ashley. Excited for her. Ashley, of course, did not want to be the last pick, which meant she would have been on my team, to be fair. But but she's off the board with Austin's team, which is good for her because it means she's with Nick Smith, who she knows very well. So that's good team chemistry there. So maybe that's what Austin is trying to build here.
Yeah, of course, if she had fallen to the last pick and had been your teammate, you guys would have had to, play from separate rooms, which is something she's never done, is be in a separate room than you.
Ashley is not in my apartment right now.
That's a lie. We all know she's there. But yeah, I'm a little bullish on Ashley. I graded her as high as mid-second round because, like I said, like she's hosted before. She's been a phone a friend. I know she knows her pop culture, her TV shows, her music, that sort of thing. And she also watches quite a bit of sports, though. Only Oklahoma and Dallas sports teams, I believe. So, but yeah, I think a pretty solid pairing with Nick and then Craig. I think that's a pretty interesting team.
Yeah, Ashley maybe arguably the best college sports player on the team, along with Craig. So that will be helpful. Since Craig is apparently downplaying his abilities. Okay, with the third to last pick, Cam has decided to complete his team with your buddy Cooper. So Cooper is off the board. Congrats to him. So 2 picks left. Steven Botchner has the next one. So yeah, you said basically all there is to say about Cooper, I think. So we'll just move along. Steven Botchner has taken Max. So that means that, hell yeah, my team gets Kyle, aka the guy who wanted Matthew Slater as a niche from the Patriots, Spencer's friend. So, and House Cats. So we will see how that goes. So that completes the draft. Qualls, I'm sure you'll have a draft grades write up in the group chat within an hour. So I look forward to that. So yeah, now by your reaction, you did not see that was coming. But here it is anyways. So there's the draft, Qualls. Any final thoughts? Any thoughts on your predicament? Any last words to Primos before we sign off?
Let's see. Okay, Cooper's gonna be with Leaf and Jim. Oh God, that's really interesting. He's gonna really vibe with Jim, I think. There's similar vibes. Max is gonna be with Jeremy and Spencer. I think that's a pretty solid pick. Again, like Max, could have gone a lot earlier, honestly. I think it was just kind of a difference of opinion among GMs. And then if I'm not making the House Cats question and hosting that game, then I will be quite cross. So,
all right, fair enough. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in. You'll have the schedule with your when your team is playing tonight within 30 minutes or so. Now that everyone has been assigned to a team, I can make the schedule, assign the host, etc. So Qualls and I signing off after the third one of these. Fun as always. Probably the most fun one, at least, if not solely for that one moment. So thanks for